And a man carrying a badge and packing his own arsenal, locked and loaded.
There was probably an angel sitting on everybody's shoulder that night.
And later, you'll meet another potential predator. He arrives with a gun in his pocket and an arsenal in his car. Coming up, you'll meet one of our more unusual visitors, and he's armed to the teeth. Unbeknownst to us, however, there is a man heading to our house, all the way from the northern border of Florida, 350 miles away. We'll find out in a couple of hours that he's got more in his car than directions. He's 41-year-old Todd Spikes. Using the screen name Loves to Eat Your Peach, he chatted regularly online for almost a month with a decoy who told him she's 13.
You're only 13? Damn, you're a little hottie.
Hi, and thanks.
Spike's chat is extremely graphic, difficult to quote on television. He sends along pictures of himself masturbating. When the decoy tells Spikes she lives with her mother, Spikes says he could become the mother's boyfriend, come to live at their house, and have sex with both of them.
I'm sure we would have time alone.
Ew, but then you would have my mom's germs on you.
I'd wash off before.
Spikes also tells the girl he wants to watch her perform oral sex on another man. The decoy is curious.
Where are you going to find him?
Probably the mall, or maybe on here, but the mall is a sure place.
Just walk up to someone?
Sure.
Wow. What if they get mad or something?
They won't. They jump at the chance to you. You will see.
Spikes also tells the girl what he's done for a living.
I used to be a cop. Was a cop for 15 years.
But he tells her he quit being a cop to work in a family business. Spike seems well aware that what he's talking about is illegal. When the decoy writes,
You better not tell anyone.
he responds,
I won't, sweetie. I can't. I'd go to prison, and that's like a death sentence. Inmates hate cops. They try to kill them in prison.
After all this, we think he's not coming. Little do we know that he's decided to go ahead and make the long drive. When he arrives in the Flagler Beach area, he calls the decoy from a payphone. Perverted Justice alerts Officer Kevin Pineda of the Flagler Beach Police. Pineda meets the other officers back at the darkened undercover house and sees Spikes driving by.
He actually circled the house numerous times.
Then as Spikes seems to drive away, the police stop his car and place him under arrest. As it turns out, we may have been lucky he never made it inside the house.
After we actually took him out of the vehicle, he advised us that he had a firearm on him.
That firearm happened to be a snub-nosed revolver in his front pocket, loaded and ready to fire. But there's something else.
He also had a badge, which says he's an officer in Alabama.
That's right. Spikes had gone back to being a police officer. He's brought back to the Flagler Beach police station. Outside, the officers searching his SUV make another startling discovery: an arsenal of weapons, including this military assault rifle that was leaning on the passenger seat, ready to fire.
He had the bolt back and the magazines. All he had to do was tap them in.
With 2 clips of 30 bullets each. And that's just the beginning. Flagler Beach Police Chief Roger Freed.
You have a 38 Smith & Wesson Special there, a Glock 40, and a 45 caliber Sig Sauer. You have a 12-gauge shotgun back there.
That, along with about 800 rounds of ammunition, some of it hollow point bullets dubbed cop killers, used to penetrate bulletproof vests.
Is there any legitimate reason for a cop to be driving around with all that firepower?
No. I can think of no reason at all that you would have that much ammunition or the type of ammunition that he had.
Spikes also had 3 cell phones, 2 bulletproof vests, video and digital cameras, and pornographic DVDs.
Do you think that we dodged a bullet?
Absolutely. Absolutely. There was probably an angel sitting on everybody's shoulder that night.
Thought I'd give you a courtesy call to let you know we have arrested one of your officers.
Chief Free calls the police chief of Spike's department in Florala, Alabama. Free learns that Spikes had just gotten his badge.
He said the guy just started working back for him. Just finished up his refresher course so he could come back into the law enforcement in Alabama.
Todd, the only thing I ask of you when you're in here is just not to make any sudden moves. You know that, all right?
Yeah, I know it. I don't know too well.
Yeah.
Other than giving his name and address, Spikes doesn't want to speak to Detective Williams.
And are you willing to talk to me? No?
And he doesn't want to speak to Dateline either.
We're with Dateline NBC, and I just want to give you a chance if you wanted to say anything about what happened tonight or anything else. Do you want to talk to us?
The next evening, sheriff's deputies in Spike's home county serve a search warrant on his house. They take his computers, find even more weapons, and large plastic tubs filled with videotapes.
What the nature of those videos are, we don't know yet. They're being analyzed by the state crime lab.
Later, investigators examine Spike's computers and find nothing relevant except the chat Spikes had with the decoy. Spike's lawyer told us all those weapons were used by his client in his work as a police officer, and when off duty, Spike stored them in his car. However, the police chief at Spike's department says he wasn't authorized to carry all those weapons on duty, and Spikes could have had a place to store the weapons at the station if he'd asked. The chief fired Spikes 3 days after his arrest. Spikes is charged with 4 felony counts, including 2 counts of using a computer to transmit harmful material to a minor. Those carry penalties of up to 15 years in prison. Spikes later pleaded not guilty. 2 of our alleged predators have gotten acquainted in jail. That's Daniel Kelly grabbing a smoke from Todd Spikes. Kelly returns the favor and gives Spikes a ride.